eyes on me, we're gonna let the beast out. Caged up, held down, for far too long. You ready? Be ready. Breathe in, smell the victory. Breathe out, let go of all the doubt you feel. Believe, reject defeat. Don't ever be afraid to be a legend. When it's on the line, seize the moment when the moment's right. Come on, you're in this fight. Don't ever be afraid to be a legend. Stand the test of time. Seize the moment when the moment's right. Come on, believe you're in this fight. Don't ever be afraid to be a legend. Hold up, are you listening? Focus in, we're looking to make history. Let's go, we know what we've waited for.
As the song says, don't be afraid to be a legend. And that's what we are here at the Viking Nation. Whether you are a Lowndes golfer or a football player, a basketball player, baseball, softball, even a Lowndes swimmer, you guys have the opportunity to be a legend because you live in one of the greatest communities on the face of the planet. And that's right here in the Lowndes community, right? So I'm your host of Around the Nation. It's Tuesday night. No, I've lost my guys. It's Thursday night. I've had so many surgeries lately. I've been on some pain medication. And so don't worry, I'm not on pain medication tonight. I'm on, what am I on? Ibuprofen, 800 milligrams. So anyway, it's been a long week. I had to miss you guys last week, and we did a pre-recorded show because of the surgery last Thursday. So just getting over that. So if you hear me kind of slow down my speech, it's because it's still hurting a little bit. But that's okay because I've got the super fan group of the year to bail me out tonight. So if I can't handle it, these two are ready to jump into the fray. And you guys have probably missed these faces, right? So, Billy Pearson, welcome back to the show, sir.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing real good.
Man, it's been a long time. I feel like I've been gone like a year.
It has been a long time. It's been a long off season, but you know what? Before long, we will be in football season. You know how long, how many days we have until football season?
No, but you'll tell me.
You know that I've got a counter somewhere, right?
I know you got a counter.
Okay, we have 161 days, 23 hours, 21 minutes, and 50 seconds to kick off against American Heritage of Plantation, Florida.
That seems like a long time when you put it like that.
Yeah, but
it's really not.
It's really not. It's August the 20th, and time will fly by.
It's almost summer. Time changes, I believe, this weekend.
Yep.
So once time changes, that's pretty much summer. So
pretty much.
We play football at the end of summer, so
yeah, we're gonna get our last cold spell, I hope, in the next few days. And then springtime, here we come. I can't wait until we've been cleaning out the pool. We
don't have spring in Georgia.
That's true.
It just goes straight to summer.
That's true. Well, we've been cleaning out the pool, getting ready to get the outdoor furniture dusted off, the pollen dusted off. So we can't wait to jump in. But that's the way it is sometimes.
Then it'll be time to put the chiller on it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of not seeing these faces in a while, we've got the band back together tonight. Chris Bisher. Hey, Chris, it's been so long that I forgot your other name that I called you.
Listen, I'm impressed. I'm even more impressed that I get to share this stage tonight with the birthday boy himself, Mr. Billy Pearson.
That's right. Happy birthday, Billy.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Listen, you must be living right because things are just going well for you, Billy. You married off a daughter. You got engaged at Christmas time. You just had a birthday today. You're welcoming back to the Viking Nation Live. And you're living a charmed life.
Hey, God has blessed me. I can't say it enough. That I'm a little humble at how well things have been going in my life. And and you're right. I just living the dream.
Absolutely. Guys, we got some interesting things to talk about tonight. Before we get to them, I wanted to make sure that we thanked our sponsors. We've got a pretty good number of sponsors, which this my computer is kind of acting up on me right now. So while I'm bringing up our sponsor slide, we've got a pretty interesting show tonight. I think we're going to we're not going to jump into politics, but we are going to talk about something that came up on a talk show the other night. Everybody knows who Chris Beckham is. He has a wonderful football radio show every Monday night at 6:00 on 105.9 FM. And this week he threw out an interesting question, guys. He was talking about what is the one ingredient that you have to have in order to sustain winning at the highest level when it comes to a football program. And so callers were calling in and talking about, you got to have great coaching. You got to have great athletes. You got to have good this. You got to have good that. I called in because it was a great question. And I said, Chris, you got to have culture. You got to have the right culture in place that's actually made up of 4 things that underpin it, 4 foundational pillars of culture, if you will. You got to have strong, very strong administrative support, because those are the guys that get you the resources, and they can make a coach's life miserable or they can make it paradise, right? So you got to have strong administrative support from the superintendent to the athletic director to the principal on down. Then you got to have strong community support. You got to have people show up, volunteers, man the booster clubs, get out there, beat the streets, raise money for the program, whether you're talking about the golf team or the football team, right? You got to have strong community support other than just the fans. Then you got to have really good coaching, and you got to have good athletes that are coachable. Now, why do I bring that up? We're not going to talk about all those things tonight. But one thing that I want to do is start having a conversation about the administrative part of that, because Lowndes is about to undergo a sea change at the top because of our superintendent, Wes Taylor. Fantastic guy, fantastic principal when he was at LHS. He's been a wonderful superintendent, and he's been a sports guy and an athletics guy. He supports all the athletic programs. Right? Well, he's retiring. So we're going to have a sea change at the top, and we don't know who that next person is going to be. If this is a sports town, right? So they're at least going to pay lip service, whoever this new person is. But I'm wondering out loud, do you guys agree with me that it's important to have an administrator in place that supports these athletic programs?
Oh, definitely, Larry. Like we were talking about before the show, if you get because let's be honest, you're right. Wes Taylor is a sports guy.
Yeah.
He knows football. He understands high school football and the dynamic of getting the right coach in here. If you get another superintendent, because many people don't know, the superintendent is in charge of who hires the new coach.
That's right.
So if you get a superintendent in here that is not a sports guy, does not understand football, does not care who the coach is, then if and when, you have to make coaching changes in any sport, not just football, baseball, basketball, whatever, he's not going to know who to get or the importance of getting the right guy. So, yeah, it's very important. And to have his support. You would see Wes Taylor at football games. You'll see our administration at football games,
right,
supporting the program.
Yep.
And they're fans. They cheer. So I think it's important. I think it's important just from the knowledge standpoint that if you don't know who to get, you're not going to get the right person.
That's right. Chris, before you chime in,
okay,
hold on. Before you chime in, we've got a hard stop at 7:15, maybe 7:15, 7:16 to bring in some guests because we don't want to make them wait too long. They've got some important homework to do and getting ready for the next day, their next golf tournament, that kind of stuff. Before we bring our guest onto the screen, I want to make sure we thank our sponsors because without these guys, none of this would be possible. I want to make sure we thank our title sponsor of the show, and that's the fine folks, Doyer Deloach and his fine folks out there at Pepsi. Guys, whether you like Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Rockstar Energy Drink, Mountain Dew Energy, this is my favorite. Out of all the samples that Doyer gave me, guys, this is my favorite, Mountain Dew Spark. It's kind of like a fizzy lemonade with like a double shot of caffeine. It is fantastic. And I've replaced my coffee with it in the mornings, and it will rock your world. It really will. It gets me jazzed up in a very, very, very New York minute. Very, very.
Now we know your secret, Larry.
Absolutely. So Mountain Dew Sparks. I want to thank the folks out at Pepsi. We want to thank Tim Neesmith, Shade of Perfection. He does a fantastic job of customizing shades and blinds for everybody's homes. This is a sample of what he does. He does just a jam up job. If you guys have a need for custom shades or blinds, give Stickman, our friend Tim Neesmith, a call at A Shade of Perfection, 229-251-3479. A couple more that I'd like to go through. The Migraine and Spine Clinic of Valdosta, Josh Batson and Justin Haskin. What is wrong with me? I misspelled Justin's name. It's Haskin, not Hasking. They offer a variety of migraine and back pain treatments. Listen, these young ladies that we're about to pull onto the screen, they're probably too young to experience migraines. I don't know. I've never suffered from migraines, but I hear my adult friends complain about migraines all the time, guys. We just had Christmas time, and sometimes our relatives give us migraines. Whatever the source of your migraines, Justin and Josh could fix it in a hurry, just like that, because what they do works, and it works very, very fast, and they have very, very short wait time. So if you suffer from migraines or back pain, give those guys a call at the Migraine and Spine Clinic of Valdosta. White Oak Investment. I noticed that Kyle Conger, he throws a comment. LG rocking Thursday nights. Kyle, I appreciate you, man, especially now because you're a sponsor. Kyle runs a company called White Oak Investment. They got 3 branches, one in Thomasville, Valdosta, and his newest one down there in Jacksonville. So the guy is growing, and there's a reason for that. He just knows what he's doing. He's a fantastic financial planner, right? He helps me. He gives me all kinds of advice, and he's navigating me through these turbulent Wall Street times that we're living in now, right? He just gave me some strategies. We're implementing them now, and we'll see if they work. But given his track record, I'm sure I'll be pretty pleased with that. So if you are in the need of financial planning services, give Kyle a call at White Oak Investment, 229-850-8848. Wireless, Verizon Wireless on Perimeter Road. Matthew Godwin can hook you up at 244-5855 if you need an iPhone, Android, and his newest offering, small business accounts. And Billy Pearson, you can attest to that.
Yes, he handles our account. He does, and he's helped me personally, but he also handles our business stuff. So yes.
Hey, yes, he's my son. I'm very proud of his accomplishments. He's been working at Verizon for the last couple of years full time while he's going to school full time. He just graduated from VSU, got a promotion at Verizon, so we're very proud of him. And our newest sponsor is Steve Nichols. He's got an interesting show. Guys, I don't know if you have ever watched the show Freedom with Steve Nichols. You can watch that on Facebook. He's got a website, freedomwithstevenichols.live. He's on every Monday through Friday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. So it's a political. I'll give you a disclaimer up front. It is a political show. If you don't like politics, don't listen to this show or don't watch it. But if you do enjoy politics, instead of turning on Headline with Robin Meade on CNN, tune Steve in. He will jazz you up. That's for sure. That's it. So it's a very, very interesting show. Freedom with Steve Nichols. The last thing is G Nation Media. Listen, the bottom line is, guys, this is my company. We make digital look good. We've got a growing list of digital assets. The Viking Nation Pregame Blitz is pregameblitz.com is a website that we are getting ready to roll out. Give that site a check out. I think you'll be pleased with it. Not working exactly 100% yet, but it will give you an idea of what's coming. And I also just launched a national site called nationalhsfb.com, short for nationalhighschoolfootball.com. And then I'm venturing into the world of podcasting. I've released like 5 or 6 episodes on a podcast called Plow the Field. It is not sports related at all. It's basically life experiences from the viewpoint of, I call myself on this podcast, the Asian redneck. And so it's a very, very interesting podcast. So,
hey, if you're going to do that, if you're going to call yourself the Asian redneck, Chris and I are going to have to get you into some hunting or some fishing
listen,
or both or something.
My comment before he said that was fixed to be, do you have to press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish? But I guess maybe it's 1 for English, 2 for Mandarin.
Listen, I may look Hispanic, but I'm Asian all day long.
Okay.
You know, I actually had dinner with a Filipino customer of mine one time. This is a true story, not a Larry-ism, right? This is a true story. So I took this customer out to dinner one time, and he was a fellow Asian. And so we're talking, and he's asking me, "Hey, Larry, do you still speak the language?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, do you cook the food?" "No, sir." "Can you tell me a little bit about your background and your culture?" "No, sir." He sat back in his chair and he says, "You're one of those yellow banana Asians, aren't you?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You're yellow on the outside and all white on the inside." And guys, I busted out laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. So anyway, enough of our tomfoolery. Let's bring in our guest, because we're kind of running a little bit behind schedule here. And we've got a couple of guests that we're going to bring up on the screen. It is the Lowndes golf team, and they are lighting up the scoreboards in the golfing world. Recently, they placed second place at the Lady Blue Devil Invitational up in Tifton with a team score of 246. If you're not a golfer, that's very good, right? Especially in team competition. That team is made up of Kirslyn Smith, Ebby Summers, Molly Davis, and Kayla Lee. And we're about to bring on 2 of those golfers, 2 seniors, Ebby Summers and Molly Davis. And I think you're going to enjoy this interview along with their Coach Amanda Hughes. So let me go ahead and get rid of this screen and let's bring on our guest. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, I want to apologize to all of you up front before we start this interview, because you just had to endure about 15 to 20 minutes of our super fans just talking trash.
It's all right. It was entertaining to us. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
So I want to make sure we give you a proper welcome tonight to Around the Nation on the Viking Nation Live. So guys, this is Coach Amanda Hughes. She is the Lowndes girls golf coach. And we also have joining us 2 of the senior golfers on the team, Molly Davis and Ebby Summers. Ladies, how are you?
Good. How about you?
We're doing good. We're doing good. You know, listen, whatever we say on the show tonight stays between us. Okay. It's not like it's watched by 10,000 people or anything like that.
No, it's not like it's public.
I got you.
Not at all.
Listen, more serious stuff. On a more serious note, I should say. I've been very pleased of watching you guys play golf for the last couple of years. Last couple of years, really, you've been lighting up the scoreboards. I've noticed both of your names on a consistent basis as either a low medalist or in the top 5, top 10. Where did your love of golf come from?
You want to go or me? I think my dad. I think Ebby can kind of say the same.
Yeah, probably my dad and my grandfather. They really inspired me.
Okay.
And watching my sister play competitively.
So, Molly, you in the same boat? How did your love of golf develop?
Well, I played softball for like 12 years, and then I kind of realized I was actually really bad at that. So I needed to take a new sport, and it was something to do like me and my dad could actually hang out. So that's when I was like, "Ooh, this is actually fun! Like we have something to do together." Now we fought like the whole time, but it was fun at the end.
I got you. You know, Clint Eastwood said in one of his famous movies, "A man's got to know his limitations." In this case, a woman's got to know her limitations. So softball wasn't your thing. So you switched to golf, and here you are lighting it up.
I try, not doing too hot, but you know, getting there.
Yeah. Now, how long have y'all been playing golf?
6 years, probably.
6, 7 years?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I got you. What's the end goal? Are you both destined for the LPGA Tour? Is that your goal?
I I hope to get there one day. After college, I'd like to give it a shot.
I'm
got
just
you.
in the business world, and I know I don't really have a shot at going pro, but Ebby definitely does.
Molly, you never know. I wouldn't sell yourself short. But listen, it's good to stay grounded, but because you're riding this golf wave, you're going to get an education, right? And you never know what the future holds. Now, who taught you girls how to play golf?
My dad.
Yeah, mine too.
But I also have a swing coach in Thomasville. We go to the same guy. His name's Bill. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Hey, Coach Hughes, let me ask you a question. When you took over this team, I think this is your first year as the girls' head coach, right?
It is. Yes, sir.
So did you know about these young ladies, or were you surprised the first time you saw them play?
I did. I knew about them because I had actually spoken to Coach Hawley numerous times about them, but actually getting to see them play in person, I was very impressed with them. They're very, they're determined. They work very hard for it, and they definitely deserve going on to the next level and everything. They put the hard work in. So definitely I was very impressed with them the first time I actually got to see them.
Gotcha. Let me ask you a follow-up question to that, just between us. Okay. I'm going to lean in real close and kind of lower my voice so these young ladies don't hear my question. Okay. So just between us as their coach, right? What's the one thing that kind of sticks out when you see them on a golf course?
The one thing with this could be interesting with Ebby is y'all better hush. Ebby is we have a good time clearly, but with Ebby, when I watch her play, she is determined. She stays focused. Like Chris, you said earlier, the mental aspect of the game is huge. And she, no matter what it is, lining putts up, whatever it is, she is very, very focused. And it shows her determination. To me, that stands out the most with her. She doesn't let much phase her as far as she does get frustrated and stuff, but she overcomes it and is able to get herself back. Molly, I love Molly's enthusiasm. Like she will have a bad shot, but she always brings herself back. That is one, like the mental part of it too. They're both working on it. They have a lot of work to do with that because we know golf can take you high and take you low very quick.
That's right.
But both of these girls, Molly, both of them are very encouraging to the other girls. Kayla was on there. She's actually a freshman playing on the varsity level, and they've kind of taken her in. But both of them, just the focus that they have on the course is very, very unbelievable for their age.
I think Abby's kind of doing a little bit of trash talking in the comments stream there.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
She says Molly has a bad golf attitude.
That's not us.
Wait, that's not me.
I wasn't doing that. I'm not.
So I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
Okay, Molly.
They're not wrong.
Wait, what is
Look, like I said, the mental aspect, they both have work to do there. But we all get aggravated with bad shots and everything, and they'll just continue. That's great, Ebby.
All right, someone I think someone is punking you. I think.
Yeah,
right about
that.
that.
That's not Ebby.
Coach,
I'm like, who's doing that?
I don't know.
Hey, Coach. I don't know if you play the game, and if you do, what level you're at. Funny little story. So I graduated from Boston High School in 1989. Our golf coach was Jack Rudolph. He was the golf coach and never touched a golf club in his entire life. He'd never.
That is a true story.
That is absolutely true. But let me tell you, he would make sure he got us to all the various tournaments. Sometimes even in junior high, because at that time it was Voss Junior High, we went in his Cadillac. And he would always stop at McDonald's because bus drivers ate free. So
well, there you go. We like to eat.
Oh yeah,
my girls, we like to eat, don't we, girls?
Oh my gosh, like we like to eat.
Oh yeah,
like y'all should see the hotel room. We bring so much snacks. Like freshman year, whoa, yeah.
It's like honey.
That's one thing I've learned about all of them. They like to
every
eat.
Tournament. Like,
if only they were a
dash.
little more enthusiastic, Coach.
A little bit.
Look, I'm telling you, they keep me on my toes for sure. They
Hey,
keep
so,
me
so,
entertained.
Ebby and Molly, let me ask you, what's your favorite course to play, and what is the strongest part of your game?
Do you want to go first? Because I know my favorite course. That's the bat.
You go ahead. I don't know my favorite.
What a great question, Chris.
My favorite course is Slammer and Squire at the World of Golf in St.
Yep.
Augustine, Florida.
Okay.
I think the strongest part of my game, I don't know, I'd say is my lag putting. Not my like 10 to 8 feet, but like 30 to 40 feet. That's where I'm
Wow.
Okay.
That's funny you said that, Molly, because that's actually what I had written down for you. That's your best part of your game.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely is.
Wow.
My favorite course, I've played so many golf courses, but one of my favorites would probably be where my hat's from. It's Willow Point. And my strongest part of my game, I hit it very straight, and I keep the ball in play a lot, and I hit it pretty long for my size. And I feel like I'm a pretty good putter too.
I got you. Okay.
Good deal.
Well, given
thing.
given your strengths of the game, you know, how well you're doing this year, you know, even as well as you did last year, what are your expectations for this season?
I hope we can qualify for state, like, as a team this year without having to play in sectionals.
Because this will be the first year as a team we'll qualify for state without sectionals.
Okay.
I think
Yeah. I feel like it's doable. We have a very strong team. Our two other girls, they're very strong. I think we'll be able to do that. That's
excellent.
definitely the goal.
Well, girls, after the season is over with, you're both seniors. You're going to project yourself in the future. You're going to be graduating soon. So what's next? I'm assuming that you're going to be playing golf at the next level. What's next?
we'll be playing in college. I'm committed at Jacksonville State, and you're committed at Converse.
Yep, Converse University.
Gotcha. I'm just curious, why those two? Why did you choose those two out of all the other schools out there?
Going Division I was a big deal for me, so I really wanted to go to D1 school, and I wanted to play at the next level. And the golf course that they play at and the roster is very small, so I get a lot of playing time. And the golf course really trains you to become a better player overall, and it really helps a person go to the next level. And that's why I picked it.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Molly?
I think I picked my college for a lot of reasons. The town is really amazing. I actually have met all the girls on my team, and I love my coach. I think coaching was a big thing for me because she worked with David Ledbetter for 20 years, so she does know what she's talking about. And I was like, I want someone who's going to help me improve. And the team I'm surrounded by are also really good girls, so it's going to help push me. I didn't want to be like the number one at the college I went to. I wanted to constantly be improving.
I'm going to ask you the question that Billy Pearson wants to ask you, but he's too shy right now. And that is, will you give him free golf lessons?
I'm not a very patient person.
No,
don't want to do that.
she's not.
It's kind of scary a
Like,
little bit.
I mean,
That was not my question.
You stand a better chance with getting lessons from Molly. Ebby, like she said, not very patient.
Like, I'll do $5.
Who said I needed lessons?
You know, hey, Coach Hughes, I've got an interesting question about, not question, but I've got an interesting story about what kind of piggybacking on what you just said. You know, I live out here at Stone Creek, and I've watched Ebby play golf over the years, you know, out of the, you know, long hours on the driving range. I've seen her work with her dad on the putting green. And Ebby, I remember when you were much, much younger, your dad would try to line you up for a putt and get you to lag putt it or something like that. And you would get kind of impatient with him.
She still
does that.
And I'm still not good at lag putting.
Just the other day.
I run it by 10 feet, and he still gets frustrated with me.
Just the other day, Monday, had another conversation on that, didn't you, Ebby?
We did.
So how much time?
Mark the ball incorrectly.
How much practice do you two ladies put in every week?
I practice. I get out of school and I practice till it's dark outside.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm full-time dual enrollment in work-based learning, but so I normally will get off work at like 11, and I'll probably get out of the course from like 12 to 2, and then take an hour break and go to school practice.
Gotcha. All right, Mr.
So,
Pearson.
Coach. So what is your background? You from Valdosta? Where you come from? Where'd you go to school?
I'm from Valdosta. I graduated from Lowndes High. I went to Lowndes.
Hey,
Lowndes
go
Middle is
Vikings.
where I went to middle school. Yeah, go Vikings. I actually and I've been teaching in Lowndes County for about 15 years. But I grew up. Actually lived on Francis Lake, so golf was something that has always been part of me. And I love it, and I'm finally getting to coach that. I've coached numerous other sports, and they finally gave me golf, so I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, around here, grew up around here, still play on occasions as much as I can, anyways.
It's always nice to have a coach that has that hometown pride.
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like coaches that have a vested interest in the community seem to put just the extra effort, stay a little longer. I don't know, maybe be happier for the kids. It is neat. Yeah, I talk about it quite a bit, getting the right coach and going and searching nationally for coaches, but it's nice to have hometown coaches and people that have vested interest in our community.
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Ladies, last question for you. Unless we have other questions from these from our other super fans. So you've got a lot of experience. Both of you are really, really good at this game. There are other young girls coming up in the game. Maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they've kind of taken a liking to golf, but don't quite understand or aren't where they want to be yet. What kind of advice would you give to those younger lady golfers that want to get to where you are?
You don't have to be the furthest hitter. Like, you do not have to hit it. Ebby outdrives me by like 10 yards every time, and I'm 5 inches taller than her. Like, you don't have to be the longest to go to the next level.
If I was giving advice to like a parent or something with a kid that wanted to be good and go to the next level, I would strongly encourage like finding a really good teacher to stick with, like from the time that you're young to like when you're in high school, like throughout your whole high school career. You need a good coach to help you mentally and like with your swing. And mental is a big concept of it, and also course management. You got to understand that.
You can't be a perfectionist and play golf. That's what I am, and that's why I get frustrated.
Well, how much room is there for just having fun in this game?
Like,
I was fixing to say, have fun with the game. Have fun with it first.
Yeah, we definitely have fun with it.
You should see the car rides there. We have lots.
Oh, yeah.
Game time is game time. Like we're very serious in tournaments because we do want to win and compete. Well,
I'll give you, ladies, and Billy, I'll give you some advice that I got from a really good friend of mine. There's a former mayor of Warner Robins. He and I are really good friends, and he and I used to play golf probably once a week together, and he would beat the pants off me every single time. And he noticed that I would try to practice hard and get better, and it was coming around, right? But I would get so frustrated because I couldn't catch him. And then when I played by myself, I would shoot maybe 82, 84, 78, that kind of stuff. And I wasn't getting better because he was in the 72, 73 range, and I wanted to catch him. And I got so frustrated. I told him about 50 times that I was going to retire from the game. And he said, I'm going to give you some advice to make your game just better. I said, well, what is it? I'm all ears. He said, lower your expectations. That's what he told me. He said to lower my, and he was right. I just started going out there to have fun. And then all of a sudden the swing started taking care of itself because I wasn't worried about where my hands were supposed to be at 12 o'clock and all this stuff. I just had fun. So ladies, wherever your future takes you, whether it's the LPGA or managing another golfer, Molly, for you in your business career, that said, have fun. This life is too short. So absolutely. I hope you've had fun on the program tonight. We've had a blast. I think I can speak for Chris, for Billy, and Coach. We've had a blast. You represent your school and your sport well, And we just want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Oh, well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Coach.
We appreciate it. All right.
And go qualify for state and go low.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. That's the goal right there. That's the goal.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, ladies.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, how fun was that interview?
That was fun.
They are
They
like
got a little bit of
balls
energy.
of fire.
Larry, when you started talking about the guy that you played golf with and he gave you some advice, I was afraid he was going to tell you to try the nail drill. Are you familiar with the nail drill?
I am not. What is the nail drill?
Well, there was a guy that kept going to his pro and getting lessons, and he wasn't getting any better. Finally, one day, the golf pro said, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go home, find a wooden shelf, and I want you to put a nail in it. And the golfer said, well, I don't understand. How's that going to help me? He says, well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hang your clubs on that nail and never take them down again.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Maybe I should try that drill.
No, the great thing about golf is something you can play your entire life, and you have a lot of camaraderie with it. And, yeah, it can be frustrating. It can be the most frustrating game that you will ever play in your life. And you can go highs to lows within one swing. But at the same time, it is something that you can enjoy. If you, like you said, lower your expectations just a little bit, and you will actually improve your performance.
Absolutely.
And
Guys,
Larry, just for the record, I actually was a very good golfer in college.
You were?
I actually worked. Yes.
Okay.
I actually used to play twice a week when I sold insurance.
Wow.
But I hurt my back, and that's why I quit playing golf. And even though my back is better now, I'm scared to hurt it again. But yes, I used to be a real good golfer. But one swing can change that, and one day it went away, and I got frustrated and sore and quit. So
I
it
had
was more over an injury. So
I was part of a men's group of four one time, and I think we were actually playing down at Francis Lake. This was probably 20 years ago, and it was two pastors and two deacons. And so me and this other deacon, we're on a team, and these two pastors are on a team. And every pastor I know that plays golf is a really good golfer. I don't know why that is. So after the third hole or something like that, they're starting to pull away from us because they're both really good golfers. And we're standing around the tee box at the next hole, and you know me, I'm going to make a joke out of anything, right? So I made a joke before the pastors teed off at the next hole, and I said, guys, why is it every pastor I know is a great golfer? It's like they only work one day a week. and I'll tell you who it was. It was Pastor Wayne Dorsett was one of them. And so he turned around and he had this serious expression on his face, but afterwards we all knew he was joking around, but he looked at me, he looked at the other two guys, and he says, it's because our relationship with God is so much better than yours. And I thought I was going to fall out and laugh. I thought I was going to die. Anyway, he put me in my place in a hurry.
he probably wasn't wrong either.
He probably wasn't wrong.
No.
So, guys, here was our kind of conversation before we started talking to Molly and Ebby and Coach Hughes. So we were talking about the importance of administration support. And we had two top-level administrators, the athletic director, and Randy McPherson. He's retiring. Wes Taylor is retiring. Danny Redshaw is the new athletic director starting the first of the year, or starting the new school year, I should say. But we don't know who the new superintendent is going to be. Do you think, am I overthinking this, or is that position as important as I think it is when it comes to supporting athletics and specifically the football program?
Well, Larry, I want to take it a step further than that. And first off, I want to commend Wes Taylor and our board of education. Because if you look at the last couple of years, the things that they have done to try to make the school activities, all activities, not just sports, all activities for these students as normal as possible.
Yep.
We need to make sure that whoever is the next superintendent, that they have those same values on keeping kids and their activities going.
That's right.
Because that's a huge part of development as you're getting older. So first thing is I want to commend them once again. I've commended them many times, but I want to commend them again. Now, with the new superintendent coming in, sure, you hope that he or she has a very vested interest in all programs, particularly the sports programs, because, when you look at it, sports in particular and football in particular, why it gets the bad rap, because everybody talks about football. Well, it is a revenue stream. It's a huge revenue stream, and that helps pay for the other programs.
Yep.
And so we need to make sure that we've got somebody that does have an interest in perpetuating those sporting activities.
I'm glad you said something about that, because dang it, I meant to bring it tonight, but there was one of the things that I do in my spare time, because apparently I don't do anything else other than work on this stuff. But I was going over the minutes for the Board of Education meetings the other night. And one of the things that was listed in one of the meetings was the athletic budget, right? And it actually broke it down on gate receipts by sports. And I wish I had, because I meant to do it tonight. Maybe I'll bring it on next week. But we talk about football pays a lot of bills, but until you actually see it in black and white, and the amount of the discrepancy between the sports, it's like night and day. That's why we have programs like this that talk a lot about the football program. That's why the Booster Club is as big as it is, because we all realize how important this sport is to the rest of the athletic programs out there, right? So we got to make sure we generate as much excitement as possible. So I wish I had it at my fingertips tonight to put it on the screen, but I'm not sure where.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how much of, say, a tennis budget or a softball budget is helped out by our football program, because, like you say, football gives money to these other programs, which helps. I mean, it helps that beautiful baseball field, and everything else that we're doing at that school. It helps girls golf, it helps boys golf, it gives a little bit of money to help those programs out. And that's why football is such a big topic around our area, because it does help those other sports. Those other sports wouldn't exist in many cases without football.
Exactly right. So what I was doing was looking around the screen. Is I wanted to show you, to bring something on the screen, but I'll find it a little bit later. But anyway, I agree, guys. When it comes to administrative support, I hope this next superintendent loves football as much as we do. One of the reasons why Wes liked it so much was he was a former coach.
That's right.
Right. And he understood what coaches go through, not just in football, but coaches in all the other sports goes through. One of the things that I get to do as part of this new national thing that I'm part of, National HSFB, it stands for high school football, but nationalhsfb.com is just about every weekend now, I'm interviewing someone that's got some national prominence when it comes to football coaching. Last week, I got to interview a coach down in Florida and a reporter down there and the same broadcast. And the coach is also head of the Florida Coaches Coalition. And the state of Florida is in upheaval right now because of the new reclassification system they've got. And I don't know if you guys heard about this, but starting next year, the state of Florida is reclassifying schools, and they're putting them in metro schools versus suburban schools.
Ooh.
They're trying to address recruiting and transfers, right?
I
So
knew where that was going.
So they're grouping all the metro schools together. And so they went from 8 classifications, I think it was 8 classifications statewide, to 4 classifications within each category. So you got 4 classes in the metro and 4 classes in the suburbans now. And so it's basically going to force all the super loaded transfer schools into 4 classes so they can duke it out for 4 state championships, and the suburban schools can do the same. And it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. The reason why I brought all that up is that, that maybe that's another topic for another show that we can do, because it's a pretty interesting topic. But as part of that conversation, I was shocked at how little high school head football coaches make in the state of Florida and how little administrative support they actually get down there. And so that's why you see Florida coaches like droves coming up to Georgia. They're moving to Alabama. They're moving to Texas because of the little support, not just financially, but administrative support they get down there. So we're just right on the border, and I'm kind of glad we're in Georgia now when it comes to high school football.
I read an article. It's been 4 or 5 years ago talking about how much Georgia coaches make compared to other states.
Right.
And at the time, high number was $100,000 mark. I think Randy and Rush at the time were just a shade over 100.
Yep.
But it was just amazing that you go down to Florida and those guys were only making $30,000-$40,000 a year, basically teacher salary to coach. So, and these guys were making it. So that's why coaches were flocking at that time. I don't know if it's that big now of a discrepancy between Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, but it used to be horrible.
Absolutely. So, guys, before we head on out of here, I want to cover a couple of things real fast. Chris, what I'm trying to do is get that picture that you sent me of the friends and family stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
All right. So give me a second here and I'll make sure that we have. Okay,
and you got the raffle one too, Larry.
Yeah. So, okay, here it comes up right now. All right. So let me share screen. Cam. Oh, here we go. All right. So, sorry guys, we're just doing this on the fly here. So, can y'all see that screen?
Pretty small.
Okay, let me.
Yes, it's. Oh yeah.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yep. So
right. So Chris, tell us about this.
Yeah. So what you're seeing there is our friends and family event that's put on by the Lowndes High Georgia Bridgemen, which will feature both of our winter guard teams, our varsity and JV team, our indoor percussion team, as well as our friends from Linder County, their winter guard and indoor percussion team. That is on Monday, March 21st. So 10 days away. And the event is absolutely free. It starts at 7:00. We encourage you to get there early to get a seat because all the performance happens to one side of the gymnasium, the big gym there at Lowndes High. And the boosters, we are raffling off 5 items that are worth $2,500 in value.
Okay,
all the way from a big green egg grill package, that's $1,150. A skeet shoot for 10 couples, not 10 people, 10 couples at the Pesky Beaver. That's sponsored by Tillman Insurance. Pepsi Yeti prize pack. So you got a Yeti hopper. You got a whole bunch of great stuff from my friends over at Pepsi. You got a kayak, and you also have a Bridgemen Spirit Stadium package worth $250. So those raffle tickets are just $5 a piece. It's a great way to support our spring activities, and all proceeds do go to the Bridgemen. But come out and watch these students. At this point, those 3 teams of Lowndes High, the 2 winter guard and the indoor percussion, they probably have upwards of 150 plus hours of practice at this point. And let me kind of catch you up on what's going on in the winter guard and indoor percussion world. Indoor, won first place in their most recent competition a couple weeks ago. They are highly ranked in FFCC, which is the Florida Federation circuit that we compete in. Their show is called Lighthouse, and it is getting rave reviews, and it's a fun show. Dr. Jeff Grant does a great job with that. And then our Winter Guard programs, our varsity is Start Walking. These boots are made for walking. We just got back from Nashville, Tennessee, where we competed in a WGI Super Regional. We were finalists. This Saturday, our JV and varsity, we compete down at Flagler Palm Coast in the FFCC circuit. And then varsity also is preparing for another WGI Super Regional next Saturday. Then our JV group, they just got first place in the most recent. We did a virtual submission for them, and they came in first place. And theirs is Groove is in the Heart. This is a very fun show. So come out and have some fun. It doesn't cost anything. Sure, we'd love for you to buy some raffle tickets for $5 a piece, but come out and support these students more than anything.
And listen, it's a great show. It really is. They do a fantastic job.
They do.
So we appreciate you updating us on that.
Yep.
We got a few minutes left, and I want to get you guys your opinion on something, guys. I'm hearing rumblings that we're going to probably, I shouldn't say probably, that we may release our new football schedule tomorrow. But there's going to be a catch. We only have 9 games.
9 games, yeah.
Yeah, and we're waiting for that 10th game to become finalized, but it's not yet. So it's not going to be added onto the schedule when it's initially released. So I'm going to put this up on the screen. And guys, this is what I think our schedule is going to look like, given the feedback that I've gotten from some contacts that I have. So I think this is pretty close to it. We might have some dates move around, but I think these are the teams minus the one. All right, so the first part of now, I think if we go on past experience, then May 20th is probably going to be the date of the spring game. The spring.
All right, Larry, one correction on that.
Okay.
That spring game will happen at Tift County because the visitor side of the stadium will not be completed. The plan is that August 13th scrimmage game will then be at Martin Stadium.
Okay, so they're flip-flopping that.
They're flip-flopping that.
Gotcha. Okay, that's going to be different. That is for us to have to travel up to Tifton for a spring game. That's going to be different. So, does that date look good, Chris? May 20th?
To my knowledge, yes, that is correct.
Okay, so guys, just make that mental note. So on August 13th, then it looks like Tift is going to come to us for a part of fall scrimmage. That's going to be unique because I've never seen us play the same team in both the spring and the fall scrimmages. So that's going to give both teams a chance to see how far or how much they progress from the spring to the fall against the same program. Now, here's the big one. On August 20th, American Heritage comes to town as part of the Georgia-Florida Challenge at Martin Stadium at 5 o'clock. Colquitt County is going to be taking on Deerfield Beach out of South Florida. And at 8 o'clock, Lowndes will be hosting American Heritage Plant. Now, if you notice, a couple weeks ago, I played a video recording of an interview that I had with the new head coach down there at American Plant, Mike Smith, because his predecessor, Patrick Surtain, is now an assistant with the Miami Dolphins. So they take their football pretty seriously down there. They've won 5 state championships in the last 10 years.
They are historically a very good football team. I've actually watched them in the past. I actually watched them play Colquitt County several years ago.
Yep.
They are a very good team. Usually don't have a lot of people on the sidelines, but their coaching staff is very involved, I would say. And like you say, top-notch coaches, and they have a lot of D1 prospects on any team they ever have. So They are a very good team, guys.
Listen, the great thing about that August 20th event is you got the opportunity to watch 2 quality football games for $15.
Yep.
I mean, right here in our backyard. So that's going to be great.
Guys, have we figured out how we're going to handle the ticketing situation?
It is general admission, Larry.
General admission. That's what I thought. Okay. So that means it's not going to be part of our season ticket package.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So next game is so American Heritage. That's going to be a tough team, tough program to come up here. Their head coach has a slogan that they're built different. He's their former strength and conditioning coach and running backs coach. And so that's his spiel. He says, and it kind of reminds me of Randy McPherson and Jamie DuBose, where we kind of brag on how well conditioned our athletes are in the fourth quarter. Well, that was his mantra, because I had a chance to interview him for 20 minutes the other night, and he kept saying that over and over. It was like, we're just built different in the fourth quarter. We're counting on other teams to fade, because I coach these guys. I put them through the strength and conditioning program, and I'm going to tell you. Then he said something that kind of caught my attention. He said, we're going to head 7.5 hours north of Lowndes, and we're going to have 45 kids on the bus. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to bring 45 kids, you better have some extra conditioning.
And that's what I mean by them, Larry. They don't have very many kids. They didn't have a lot on the sidelines. And I think that is a problem. We've seen it before with a lot of these really good teams. It's hot in South Florida. There's no doubt about it. But there's something about South Georgia summers and our heat that, we played Plant City, Florida. We played North Miami, all these schools that are from down in hot areas, and they don't hold up to this heat.
Yeah, our humidity is different.
It happens all along. These teams play us pretty good, but by the fourth quarter, they all fall down. And like you say, 45 kids, they're not going to be able to substitute.
Yeah, I think I agree with both of you. But guys, I'm telling you, in a couple of years, when we get that indoor facility built and we're practicing in there in the summertime, I think that advantage goes away.
Oh, definitely. If that's all you practice in.
Yeah.
If you use it just in inclement weather, then maybe you don't lose that advantage.
So August 26th, we host Gadsden. I've never heard of this group, so I've looked them up. They're not a very good team, but you're going to have some of these teams on your schedule. But Gadsden County High School out of Quincy, Florida, I believe. September 2nd, another pretty good quality program out of South Florida, North Miami Beach, comes to town. September 9th, I believe that Brookwood comes to town, the Brookwood Broncos. So that's going to be an interesting mix, because, listen, up until now, other than the scrimmage games, it's like 3 straight Florida programs back to back to back. And now you get into the meat of the Georgia schools. And Georgia, as a state, we kind of pride ourselves being a different brand of football up here. So we get used to playing the Florida brand of football. And then we got Brookwood coming to town on September 9th, followed by a road trip. Our first road trip of the year, official one anyway, other than the scrimmage, is to East Coweta on September 16th.
We've played there before, haven't we?
East Coweta, yes.
Just a couple years ago.
A couple of years ago, it was like first game of the season or something like that.
The worst thing about that stadium is the lighting is extremely strange.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yes, I remember
it was just an odd evening. Vikings won, but it wasn't a huge victory. It was 30-something to 14, 15, 16, 17, something like that. But it was just an odd evening.
We have a Lowndes has a
school team.
Lowndes has a coaching connection with East Coweta. I think 2 former Lowndes coaches also coached at East Coweta. You guys remember them?
Mm-mm.
Jim Henry and Jackson Dean. So they both went to be offensive coordinators at East Coweta. I think they were both like wide receiver coaches. No, Jim Henry was a quarterback coach here. Then he goes up there to East Coweta, becomes a offensive coordinator. And then Jackson Dean, I think, follows him, becomes the offensive coordinator last couple of years at East Coweta. And do you know where Jackson Dean is now? He is the offensive coordinator for Byron Slack at Cook County.
How about that?
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
It's a small world. Made a full circle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I remember that Ace Coweta game several years ago. That's when we were going through our issue with prayer, and
that's right.
East Coweta was made up banners and all saying that we pray for Lowndes. So that was pretty neat. So they were a real supportive school. So I kind of remember it pretty good.
Yep. Tim Neesmith, no comment. So September 16th at East Coweta, it looks like we're going to have an open week on September 23rd. Now, September 30th, I've got a question mark because we may have a game on the 23rd or the 30th. It's just that 10th game we don't have finalized yet. So stay tuned. That's to be determined. Okay. Now, this is on October 7th is when we open up region play. We're going to host the Wintersville Classic again this year when Valdosta comes to town on the 7th, an open week on the 14th. And then we go over to the Hog Pen to Moultrie, Georgia, and take over the newly minted head coach, Sean Calhoun, as the captain of the Colquitt ship over there. What do you guys think about going back to Colquitt County? The last time we went over there was not a good experience.
No, it was not a good experience at all.
I have never had a good experience in the Hog Pen.
I'm ready to. So we broke the streak, for a while there when Rush was there, I think for like 7 or 8 straight years or something like they beat us, something like that, at home and away. Right. And so the last couple of times, I think this is right. The last couple of times Rush was there, we beat them at home when they came to Martin Stadium, but they would still beat us.
It was a home. Yes, they would beat us there, and we beat them when they came here.
That's right. And so the same thing held true when Justin Rogers took over the program. They would beat us there. We would beat them here. And so I'm ready for us to break that streak when we go over there.
All right. I've got a question. I've got a challenge for y'all. As we're looking at region play begins at Valdosta on the 7th and finishes on the 4th at Camden.
Yeah.
We're all homers. We all want Lowndes to win the region championship. Whoever wins the region championship with this new aligned region, at what game do you think the region champion will be crowned?
Man, that's a great question. Great question. I think it's going to be later in the season. It may be the last week.
It won't be the last week. I think
you don't think so?
Next to last game of the season.
I think it's the 28th. Yeah, I think it's the 28th.
Yep. Yeah.
But I would be curious. Hey, Larry, the next time we get together, I would love for you to show what our region opponents' schedules are specific for region play.
Okay. Fair enough.
And that way we can let's go ahead and get some educated guesses going there.
Gotcha. Well, if it's going to be determined on the 28th, then that means the game on the 4th between Lowndes and Camden really doesn't really matter unless you're aiming for the 2nd seed or something like that. That's what you're saying, right?
Well,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Listen, I do think that's going to happen, but this is a brand new aligned region. It looks like it's now. I'm scared to death of playing Camden with this wing T again. I'm not going to lie. If they get that thing going, and it's also what Jeff Herron's 2nd year with it, being back at the helm. I'm a little concerned about that game, but we have no idea what to expect from Richmond Hill or Colquitt this year.
I think Colquitt's not going to be bad because they have talent. Richmond Hill, I think, is going to be our whipping boy for years to come.
I think the contest comes down to winning the region is between Valdosta and Camden and Lowndes this year.
Really?
And I think it's Lowndes and Colquitt all the way.
I agree with Billy. Now, I was just doing the math there, in order for Lowndes to clinch it on the 28th, then we would have to beat Valdosta and Colquitt the first 2 games, and then clinch it against Richmond Hill on the 28th.
And be 3-0 in the region going in that last game.
Correct.
That's what I predict.
Gotcha. Oh, man, I hope you guys are right.
That's kind of what I predict. But I agree with Chris. Camden is going to be tough with that wing T when it gets rolling. not to bash Lowndes or our program, but we have got to learn to stop a team that does nothing but run the ball, along with stopping a team that does nothing but throw the ball. We're really good at a balanced team, but we struggle when a team does just one thing or the other.
That's right.
Well, let's look at it a little bit different for just a second. Take Lowndes out of the equation. All right, Camden versus Richmond Hill. Camden's going to win. Camden versus Valdosta. This is the first year Valdosta's faced Camden in a long time. I see Camden in that game with this wing T if they get it rolling. So then it comes down to Camden versus Colquitt. You got a brand new coach over at Colquitt. Who knows what he's going to bring to the table?
Yep.
That's true.
That's why I think it's going to come down to Camden, Valdosta, Lowndes.
And I think Valdosta can beat Camden because of their defense. I think that's the difference.
It's going to be interesting.
All right, so I'm making a note. Needed the region side-by-side schedule.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey,
guys,
also, Chris, you were supposed to remind Larry of something.
Hey, listen. Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to remind me. I got it on a note right here, man. I'm 51 years old. I don't have I have to admit, I don't have Alzheimer's yet, but I do have some timers. Sometimes it comes and sometimes it goes. I think what you're about to tell me. I think what you're about to tell me is we want to, from the bottom of our hearts, from everyone in the Viking Nation, we want to send Coach DeBoe's well wishes, right? Because I understand he just underwent a complete hip replacement surgery.
Yep, but he is at home and on the road to recovery.
So, Coach, if you and Tracy are watching tonight, we wish you guys the very best. Coach, we know how important you are, man, to this football program. So get healthy, man.
Get well soon.
Get that thing moving, and we'll see you soon, dude. So, anyway, see, I told you I remembered, man, because that's why I have to write stuff down, because I forget all the time.
All right, so on a coaching staff standpoint, we just have one vacancy. Is that correct? Defensive line coach.
Did we replace our outside linebackers coach? John Arnold retired?
John Arnold retired.
So Chris is about to say yes, but he's kind of keeping it to himself.
I don't think we have. I haven't heard that we have, but I have been out of the loop a little bit. I've been trying to lay low for a while,
Listen, man, you're Billy Pearson. I need to give you a pep talk. You're Billy Pearson. Well, lay low is like antithetical to what you do.
I know that. I'm a little extra, or whatever you say.
People love the genre. I'm gonna give you your own genre, the Billy Pearson genre. People love Billy Pearson, just the thought of Billy Pearson, because the edge that you come with.
Well, I do come with the edge, but it's kind of like a car wreck. It's kind of like going to a NASCAR race. Some people are there for the race to see who wins the race. Some people are there for the wreck. See?
Oh, so you like to sit in turn 4 and watch the wrecks?
I definitely like to see turn 4.
So what you're saying is you're tired of being the wreck. You want to be the shiny race car.
No. I'm just saying that sometimes you got to give people a break, because you could be a little bit too much.
I got you.
We always had that aunt that would come to like Thanksgiving dinner that you just wish she'd just shut up sometimes. You love her. Well, I'm that guy. I'm Uncle Billy.
Now,
and sometimes
listen. Now it's time to end the show. We have officially jumped the shark. Check out this comment. Michelle Carter says, "I know I sure love me some Billy Pearson." What else can you say after that?
Hey, I'm just glad that something happened that I didn't think was going to happen. When you said earlier that you were going to put a picture on the screen that Chris Bisher sent you, I was afraid it was that picture of Chris laying on Jekyll Island this weekend.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Nobody tried to roll me back in the water. It was a great day.
Oh my gosh, guys, we're losing our audience. We gotta go.
If you'd have posted that picture, we would have.
Listen, guys, we hope you have a great weekend. On behalf of Billy Pierce and Chris Bisher, I'm Larry Godwin, and you guys have been watching Around the Nation on the Viking Nation Live.
Go Vikings.
We're out.
Go Vikings.